All right, and we're live. Welcome back, Whiskey Questers, to a live stream. And it was the last minute kind of thing, but it was something that we planned a while ago. But life happens, and we finally got around to do it. So today I have Liz. Met her on Instagram. Let me bring her on.
Hi.
Hey, Liz. Is
Thank
that
you for having
like
me.
Liz or Lisa?
Lee actually works.
Lee? Okay. So Lee is somebody that I met or I found out about on the Pete's Basement show.
Mhm.
You did some glasses for him, some
Yes. So
artwork on
um,
glasses.
I definitely am part of the Pete's Basement family now. Definitely check us out on Instagram and Twitter and YouTube. We talk comic books. We talk pop culture, movies, cartoons, pizza, beer, things I will not discuss right now. And of course, there's a general all-around love for whiskey. So definitely check out Pete's Basement and we'll get to me in a little bit.
Yeah, most definitely. That's an awesome show. And yeah, you do I the artwork that you do on the glassware is just phenomenal. I think
Thank you.
to have something on your shelf on your bar displaying something that maybe that's
I,
close to you.
I've told a lot of my clients that it's that great gift to give that collector that has it all. You can customize it, you can make it special for that person, and you know, the best part, to sound as humble as possible, the best part about my glasses, I think, is they're not just for display. You can absolutely choose your poison and sip sip the night away responsibly, and enjoy art with every sip. So they're hand wash only. They're not dishwasher safe, but you can absolutely enjoy it. And I think it's a great, like, I think it's a great conversational piece.
Oh yeah, definitely. Yeah, that was. I mean, it's just eye catching to me,
Thank you.
and something different because usually you just see like the edging, like kind of like this. I don't know if you can see it.
Yeah,
There you go.
the
But
etching.
yeah, but seeing something painted on there, especially me being an artist myself, it's just caught my attention. I was like, I need one of those glasses. So I can't wait till I get mine, and my wife's looking forward to her Punisher wine glass. So
Yes, definitely. I have to say, the Punisher glass that you chose, and I should have. I'm a fool. I should have had some on handy so you guys can check out. I'll probably run away in a second and go grab one or two. But the one that your wife wants, it has a really nice blood splatter effect, and it's
yeah,
kind of difficult to get that with enamel paint. So every time someone orders that glass, I have
you're
to
like,
try to figure out where am I going to do this, because it really does look like I've murdered someone. That paint does not come off your hands. So I've gotten ready for conventions, and I've done blood splatter on things with Deadpool and the Punisher, and I'll go to the store to get a bottle of tequila or whiskey, and I look like a mad person.
so you should set it up somewhere. You just go at it with the brush, just splattering.
So yeah, it's essentially a
Nice.
fan brush. I have to thin the paints a
Yeah.
lot and to get it very so that it will make the mess.
Yeah.
And it's
That's
a
awesome.
process, but
Yeah.
it's worth it because the effect you get is really amazing.
Yeah, oh yeah, it does look awesome. Once you send it over, and I'll definitely
Yeah,
give you a shout out, and I'll show it to everybody because that's gonna look awesome. I already know.
I'll be shipping them soon because just given the current climate, I've been trying to stay away from populous places like that.
Oh yeah,
But totally, I'll be shipping very soon.
that's awesome. All right, I did have one question that I ask every artist that I meet, and is who was your biggest influence into getting into art, like painting and just art in general?
I have a very artistic family. My uncle on my mother's side was a tattoo artist, and my grandmother also liked to paint, and my father actually did a lot of graffiti and tagging up back in the 70s and the 80s and the 90s.
Nice.
So I used to see his black book and his sketchbook and all of his pieces, and I would see the art that my uncle would paint on women. And I just thought, whoa, you know, like art can take you to so many places, whether it's the L line or, you know, someone's bra line. So very interesting. And then, you know, to give my mother some credit, she could put eyeliner on like it was war paint. So kudos to her too.
Oh, that's awesome. Yeah. I mean, you definitely have some good influences there. I got into graffiti when I was in high school, and you know, you get busted, and you just say, okay, then maybe. I was 17, so at 17 you just get a slap on the wrist and you get to walk away. But at 18, it's, you know,
a little different.
Things happen. So I had to change my ways, and we did some murals with permission, like on site of stores and stuff. But
That's awesome.
It wasn't the same.
There's no risk factor there, you know.
And speaking of, like, graffiti, I like what you've been doing with the little canvases, and you've been.
Yes, so that's totally new. You know, when I first thought about it, I thought I was onto something, which I kind of am, but I definitely wasn't the first. There were a few other artists that were hiding pieces in certain neighborhoods, and I really wanted to. I'm from Brooklyn, born and raised, but I am all about New York. And so I wanted to I'm going to actually very soon, I think next weekend, I'm going to go to all of the boroughs, including Staten Island, and I'm going to be hiding 2 to 3 pieces in each borough. You know what? I am not prepared. Let me go grab. I'm going to take less than 30 seconds. Let me go grab just some material. I'm so sorry.
Go ahead. We got Legit Whiskey Reviews. What's up, guys? What's up, guys? For people that are watching, that's a new channel that popped up, and pretty cool guys, my kind of guys. So you guys check out Legit Whiskey Reviews. You won't be disappointed. That's for sure. Are you guys from Brooklyn? Or are you just saying Brooklyn in the house because of her? And Mr. Pete, channel is 75. Let's see. You're probably asking her. Did you suggest Lee? Did do you know Mr. Pete? Who that is? Is that
Mr. Pete?
Mr. Pete, channel is 75%.
I'm not 100%.
No, because they're saying did you get the Widow Jane Lucky 13-year single barrel? I
wasn't able to pick anything extra up.
Maybe it was for me. I don't recognize that name. Sorry if I'm screwing stuff up, but there's so many people out there.
Yeah, definitely. But if we can, just to take a step back. So I've been painting mini canvases. These are some examples, and
Nice.
It's actually magnets right there. So if you find these pieces in the city, they're yours to keep. I've done several. I've done a Stitch, a God of War, and then I've got, you know, your fan favorites. Ones that are, someone's gonna see it and say, "What's that?" So
that's awesome. That's awesome.
Walk around and you see them, it's yours.
I'm gonna have to take a trip down to New York. Oh, we got there's a YouTube channel that just popped up not too long ago called Legit Whiskey Reviews, and they're saying they're from East New York. So.
Hey, awesome! That's not far off at all. I'm North Brooklyn. I'm like right in the middle of Greenpoint and Williamsburg. So I get a lot of where are you really from? And I'm like, I'm from here. I am from here. I didn't come from, you know, one of the square states. No offense, you know, those are beautiful, but that's not where I'm from.
Yeah, New York was one spot that I wanted to move to. Then I did my research, and I was like, it's expensive out there. So I'm like, I'm keeping my butt here in Chicago.
Yeah, you know, it's one of those things. It's one of those, and I'm only here because I could have easily been part of that gentrification migration per se.
Yeah,
you know?
yeah.
But I'm just part of that generation that born and raised here, and my parents, they loved the building and the house that they lived in, and they wanted this to be their home, and they purchased it, and they didn't realize that 15 years later the market was going to blow up the way it did. But
yeah,
Yeah.
You just keep on living.
Yeah.
It was meant to be. You were meant to stay there.
Yeah.
All I have to say. So you also been to like events to display and sell your glassware.
Yes. So
How's that been going? Well, not now
well,
because
now now that's on pause. So I've definitely been doing a lot of live, and that's why I'm doing this initiative with the little mini canvases and things like that. But I've done conventions for the military. I've done conventions at the Cradle of Aviation Museum in Long Island. I've done conventions in Comic-Cons, but not New York Comic-Con. That is the dream, you know.
not yet. Not yet.
Not yet, but I'm hoping. I'm really hoping. And again, I'm trying to sound as humble as possible, but I go to Comic-Con every year, and I've yet to see something similar to what I do. You know,
Okay.
You rarely find those handcrafted items, and when I do, I get really excited, and I've met a lot of great people that way. As a matter of fact, Pete from Pete's Basement, I met him through, he had a competition, like a little raffle, and I won. And then we met up at Comic-Con, and he helped me get some comic books graded because I didn't know how to even do that. And he was very helpful. But every kind of convention I can get my foot in, I definitely try my best to squeeze in. But yeah, outdoor, indoor, it's fun, and you meet all kinds of people, you know, all walks of life, and it's great. There's so many characters out there. It's really
Right. Yeah. People just think that going to cons are like, geeks and stuff, but it's a whole different world now. It's not like it used to be back when I was a kid. It's like, oh, you were that nerd that got beat up. No, now the nerds beat up the other guys.
Yeah, like well, now they're kind of the Gokus of the generation, so you can't. But no, it's such a culture, and it's definitely a community. Like even when I saw cosplay is not consent, I thought it was really odd that they would have to put that out. And I think it's great that they do, but I've never experienced it, and I've seen women in the way that some of us dress to these conventions, and I have to say, all around, we feel really safe.
Yeah.
Because everyone's just there to have a good time, and it's not like that, and I don't have any complaints. I've been great, and I've had great experiences there. Actually, first Comic-Con I ever went to, New York Comic-Con, I bought a Harley Quinn purse. I put it down because I wanted to take a picture with this group of people who dressed up as the Mortal Kombat.
Yeah.
And I left my purse on the floor, and I left. And I realized it maybe 30 minutes later. I ran back. The purse was gone. I was crying. It was my first Comic-Con. I thought, I've ruined it all, blah, blah, blah. I end up finding Scorpion later on. And I was like, did by any chance you see a purse? I don't know where he pulled my purse from, but he pulled it out from somewhere.
Like, get over here.
Get over here. And he gave it to me. And everything was in there still. The purchases that I made, the other little purse that I had purchased. And that's what I'm talking about. The community that is New York Comic-Con is just like such a big, warm family, and I love it. I love it.
Yeah, definitely. It's one of those places that you just, like you say, you feel safe.
Yeah.
There's no judging. It's an awesome place to be, and that's the reason why on my YouTube channel it says reviews without the snobbery, because people tend to feel threatened when they get into like whiskey or wine, where they're like, oh, it's just those people with the pinkies up, and they feel like, if I start tasting and I make a face, are they gonna judge me and stuff like that? So that's what we're gonna do today. So you never like sat down and like nose the whiskey and
I mean, by the time
just taking shots or.
For me, whiskey is something I was introduced to really on the Pete's Basement show. It's pretty good. Sometimes it's like drinking gasoline, or what I can imagine is drinking gasoline or jet fuel. But other times I get something that's a little smooth. I don't know if I'm going to be that lucky today with your Infinity whiskey, but I'm really happy to be here and try it out.
Let's pour some right now while we're talking. Because that's one part of drinking whiskey, is that you pour it out and you let it sit for a little bit, so it's not like too strong when you start nosing or drinking it.
So do I just pour it in now then, and just let it? Okay.
Yeah, you can pour half of the bottle and then. Before, why not?
I'm sorry.
It's Friday. It's Friday.
It is.
So yeah, pretty much that's all you need to pour to taste it. Yeah, you don't need to like fill it up to here, and it's you're just gonna be smelling it and tasting it. So right now it might well, it doesn't really. My bottle's been sitting about this much for a while. I sent a bunch of samples out to people. Everybody's loved it. So I'm hoping you end up liking it. And let's just get into what the bottle is. I told you it's an infinity bottle. So what an infinity bottle is, you pretty much just mix a whole bunch of whiskeys that you've had. And for the most part, people will be drinking a bottle that they enjoy and it'll get down to like the bottom, which we call the heels, because it's just the last little bit.
Okay.
And what we do is just pour it into a bottle like this. And then you have another bottle that's about to be done. You pour that in there too. And eventually it just starts filling up, and it's a mixture of different kinds of whiskeys that you've had. And the reason behind being called an infinity bottle is because every time you drink from it, you're supposed to pour more in there. And, hence infinity will never end. And in theory, you're supposed to taste everything you've ever tried. So it's not, you know what I mean?
That's very advanced.
But the very cool thing that really got me to create one is that because you're always adding to it, you're never going to finish it. So that's the whole point. It's always going to be some whiskey in there. You can pass this down to, one of your kids or something like that. And then they can continue adding as they taste their favorite thing. Yeah. So that's why I started, when I pass away, because it's going to happen. My thing is, give them something like what I gave you, maybe a little bit more, and have them continue. That way, it's a little piece of me. They get like a family heirloom. They just keep.
I think that's such a beautiful thought.
Yeah.
What a way to say to pour one out for the homie, as they say.
Yeah, there you go.
Really giving them the here.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely. So
I have to ask, where did you get your inspiration for the infinity bottle? Because it sounds very similar to something I've seen in my culture, let's say.
Yeah, no, that's been around for a long time. It's like you don't even have this. It can be done with anything. As long as
I don't know if you're familiar with it, but it reminds me a lot of like Mama Juana.
Okay.
Where
I've never heard of that.
You haven't heard of Mama Juana?
No.
Okay, so it's very similar, but I like your method because it's very clean. Whereas Mama Juana, they put cinnamon sticks in the bottle, and they can put raisins, and they can add so much more texture to it. Mm-hmm. But it tastes like jet fuel, and they constantly add to. And over the years, I've seen those same cinnamon sticks out, and I'm like, okay. But
well, yeah,
that looks cleaner.
I do the same thing, and like I said, you're adding stuff that you liked, so you're not gonna add something that you're like, oh, I'll never drink that again, right? So you're just gonna
very genuine to your taste, yeah.
Yeah. So at first, I just added everything that I've had because I did a thing where I wasn't gonna touch it until I reached 500 subscribers, and it took a while to get there. So I filled it up with I can't remember how many different, like maybe 30 different whiskeys.
Wow.
And it's like bourbon, rye, Scotch, Japanese. I think that's about it. Everything except, you've heard Pete say that he hates that peaty flavor, that smoky. That's something that some scotches have that are not appealing to people, because they can taste like rubber, bandages. People get different things on there. My wife says it just smells like the magic markers.
Oh wow!
There's some strong stuff.
Talking about.
Yeah, so I added everything except that, and I was very, very curious about how it was gonna taste because it was all blind. But now that it turned out okay, in my opinion, now I'm just gonna pour out a little bit, mix it in a glass, let it sit, taste it, and if it's good, then I'll go ahead and add it to the bottles. I don't want to ruin it after this.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. So now that it's been sitting for a while, you're gonna bring up the glass to your nose, but not all the way in, just up until you can start smelling certain aromas.
I can smell it.
So whatever pops into your head, what does it remind you of?
Spray paint.
Okay. I don't want to tell you what I'm getting because then
No,
it starts.
there's more. I've got more answers. We just finished talking about that smoked wood, but it kind of does give me that outdoorsy wooded area.
Okay. All right. Yeah. Well, one of the things that whiskey, to be called a whiskey, has to be aged in barrels, white wood barrels, and those wood barrels are charred inside to bring out that flavor. So that woodsy, and you said like char, definitely is definitely there.
That is there. That's nice. I've never thought to stop and smell the whiskey.
Yeah. Hey, those guys from Legit Whiskey Review says his dad has a bottle over 30 years old of that Mama Juana.
Yes. I think ours is about, I won't say 30 years. I want to say it's hitting 10 to 13 years.
That's awesome.
30 is quite the achievement, though. Kudos to them.
Yeah, that's a long time. So what else do you think you're getting?
I want to say just the slightest hint of honey, but I could be, yeah?
Yeah, I'm getting that. Look at you. Actually, it's been known that women have better senses when it comes to nosing and tasting. There's a lot of women involved in like, making the whiskey and blending whiskey.
Ah. Are there any tarts in this, like fruits or something like that?
Yeah, I get a little bit of like a green apple.
Yeah.
Maybe a little bit of peaches also going on.
I'm not picking up the peaches.
Like when you just slice a peach.
I always get mine pre-cut.
So yeah, I could just sit here and nose this for a long time. That's part of drinking whiskey like this is you just sit back and relax. Forget about what's going on. You had a bad day. You just enjoy your whiskey.
That has this
Smell it. Just get deep in there.
It's funny. When I first got close to it, it was almost unbearable. But since we've kind of gradually made our way in, it's therapeutic. This is nice.
Yeah.
I'm enjoying just smelling the whiskey.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right.
I want you to tell me what else is in here because it's killing me.
Well, I'm getting like lots of fruits.
Yeah.
I think that comes from the scotches that I've added in.
Okay.
Also have Irish whiskey in here too, now that I think about it. All right.
Smells good.
Hope I didn't lose you there.
No.
No? Okay.
I've heard you.
Okay. All right. So the first taste that you take, think about it like really hot coffee. You just take that little tiny sips because you don't want to get burnt, and you just swallow it right away. Don't think too much about it. That's just to coat your palate. So let's go ahead and do that.
That went down surprisingly smooth.
Yeah.
That's nice.
So now that your palate, that's just to get acclimated. After that, what I want you to do is take a sip, and we call it chewing the whiskey, which is not really chewing it like food, but just moving it around your mouth, like just all over your mouth.
Okay.
Like swooshing, but
like
not really.
Not as aggressive.
Like mouthwash. Just move it around your mouth for maybe 3 or 4 or 5 seconds.
For how long?
And then just swallow it slowly, and don't forget to breathe as you're swallowing.
Okay.
I'm sorry?
How long are we swishing it around for? And you took a sip. Sorry.
Few seconds. Few seconds.
That is good. I love this. I'm getting that like
Yeah.
cinnamon aftertaste.
What are you tasting?
I want to say definitely I can feel the wood. I do. Like I can taste that, and I can taste the I want to say cinnamon.
Mm-hmm.
And it's left that nice, I don't know. I don't even want to call it burn. It feels like a nice, I don't know how to explain it. But it's,
Yeah.
I think I can taste the peach.
Yeah, like a nice toasty kind of taste.
Yeah.
Yeah, those fruits come across really nice.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Can I take another swish?
I get a little. Yeah, go ahead, take another sip. Now, there's something we call, and everybody laughs, mouthfeel. And what that is just how does it feel in your mouth? Like, does it feel warm? Does it feel oily? What kind of feeling do you get when it's when you're swallowing the whiskey?
Well, I'm not getting an oily feel at all. It definitely burns slightly.
What are you getting?
It's a very slight burn, if I could even call it that. It's more like a tingling.
Yeah. There's something I'm getting on here. I didn't want to say, but I'm getting a little bit of like a mint. Like when I'm breathing, it's like a minty kind of taste.
Yeah. Oh wow, how did I miss that one? Now that you say it, it's like so obvious.
And I get a lot of like an orange peel. Not a lot of people like it, but I like getting orange peel. It's like gives you like that tart, that sour.
See, I definitely taste the tart because I do love a good citrus dessert.
Mm-hmm.
So I enjoy the taste of like, no, I tasted tart. I don't know that I would say it was orange, but if you say it's orange, then it's orange. I feel like
don't. That's just what I say.
I feel like I'm aware of every single taste bud right now. It's kind of interesting.
Yeah, it's overwhelming.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that especially after.
And that's the one thing that is subjective. Everything you get. Yeah, everything you get might be different from me, and that's okay because it might just remind you of something else.
Yeah.
Maybe I've never had peaches, and for some reason you're getting peaches, but I'm not getting it because I don't know what it tastes like. But
so you wouldn't recommend?
Doesn't have to. You don't have to call out that. A lot of people will just say it reminds them of something. Yeah, yeah. So a lot of people might say, "Oh, it reminds me of Christmas," because they smell the cinnamon or something, maybe gingerbread or something, and that's what is reminding them of. It's like, oh, I remember that it's like I smell that during Christmas everywhere.
Yeah. Again, I'm gonna go back to the cinnamon feel. You put cinnamon in eggnog, you mix it with the gingerbread.
Yeah. Yeah.
Good.
Yeah, I get a nice like bready kind of And I do have something in here. It's a bourbon that they use wheat instead of rye. So that I think that's where it's getting that soft, bready kind of taste.
That makes sense. Now, how fast should someone drink this much whiskey? Like if someone wants to savor it and not throw it back on a comic book talk
Yeah,
show.
that's a good question. It'll something like what we just poured. It'll take me around, maybe 20 minutes to drink because I'm just smelling it, tasting it. You know, that's just with this glass. Once you pour it into the usual rocks glass, kind of like this,
Yeah.
that's just for drinking. You're just sipping it. You're not really smelling it because that's the other thing about the glasses. This one, the smells are they'll just spill out. You're not really gonna get much. You might smell some little things here and there, but from something like this, because of the way that it's shaped, it just holds the aromas in there a lot better.
Yeah, like when you first came
That's
to
why they're made that way. There's different types, and they're all the same.
yeah,
They still have the same shape.
when you were talking to me about I'm sorry, I think there's just a slight lag. But when you first reached out to me about the glass you were just holding up is what I had for whiskey drinkers. I had no idea that this physique was available for whiskey, and I think it's so majestic looking and it's really nice, and I think it just makes the presentation of the whiskey that much better. I like this.
Oh yeah, definitely adds to the presentation, adds to the experience as well.
Hmm.
But you don't need this to just drink it. This is just to sit down, smell it.
I like it though. Yeah.
There's different types. As long as it has this little shape. Actually, I have this other one called the Norland Glass.
Oh,
It's a
okay.
little bit fancier, more expensive, but it's got a little bit wider nose. It's still tulip shaped, but you're supposed to get a better experience nosing it because there won't be that much alcohol burn on the nose. And actually, it does um, do its thing. I don't use it because I have a hard time smelling from it and getting those the notes because of that because it just makes it lighter on the nose. But as to drink it is the same old thing.
Okay.
You keep freezing on my end. I don't know if I'm freezing on your end.
You're not freezing, but I think there is a delay because I can hear, like, I'll ask a question and then maybe 10 seconds later, I'll hear it on your end.
Oh, okay, yeah, that's what's happening on my end. Like I said, a lot of people
There's a
these
lot
days
of,
are streaming,
yeah.
hanging out with people they haven't seen in a while. So
And it's a Friday night. Yeah, that makes sense. It might have been even crazier for tomorrow night, you know?
yeah, yeah. Oh my God, yeah.
Yeah. So the glasses I'm used to.
Well, let's see. All right, so you had your real first experience.
Yeah, I did. I had my first, yeah. This is the
So now
first
that
time like this.
you've tasted this like this, you think you're gonna continue experimenting?
With whiskeys? Yeah, I am. I actually already wanted to pick up a few, and then it's so funny when you reached out to me. I thought
Nice.
this is perfect. If anyone can tell me what's worth getting, and I would have totally picked up what you had mentioned earlier, but I just didn't because with everything going on, I think you got to spend wisely right now. It's just you never know what tomorrow's going to bring. So I definitely want to pick up the scotches,
Yeah.
especially if something's going to
Right.
to a pretty penny, it's probably worth it. So my husband always says you get what you pay for. So
Yeah. Oh yeah. And that's the thing too. I've had some really cheap bottles. Like I've had one that's $10, and it's really good. And everybody in the whiskey community, when they try it, they're like, "Oh, this is gonna suck." And then they taste it, and you see their face light up, like, "Whoa, $10, and it's that good." So
It really
you know,
depends.
you heard, don't judge a book, by its
Yeah,
cover. Same thing with the
that's what
whiskey.
I cover. Yeah, I've I've done that where I used to buy like the $10, $13 bottle of wine, and there's nothing wrong with that. I love a good Malbec for $15. Why not? One day I just decided, you know what? I'm gonna get like a $40
Yeah,
bottle of wine and check it out. There is such a big difference. And then when I finished the good bottle, I went back to my $10 bottle, and you can really taste the difference. And I thought, this is not good. Don't have them on the same night. But I'm definitely not knocking 10.
yeah. Maybe it's just. I mean, with wine, you could buy a bottle from what I know, and it just keeps aging the longer you let it sit. But with whiskey is once it's bottled, that's it. It's not gonna age anymore. So if the bottle says that it's 9 years old, it's gonna be 9 years old forever.
Really? Huh. I thought the opposite. I thought if I bought a 12-year
Yeah.
Johnny Walker,
Um,
and in another 12 years, it would be a 24-year-old Johnny Walker. So is it just the time it's in the barrel that they put the years on?
yeah, that's what people think because of wine.
Yeah.
That's it. Yep, that's it. So and if it has an age statement like that Johnny Walker 12-year, that's just the minimum uh age that's in the bottle. It could have some older whiskey, but by law they can only put the youngest whiskey that's in the. There goes that internet.
I just realized I can see the comments. I've never used this before. So I'm like, oh, I sent you a little message. So I was like, oh, okay.
Yeah, my internet dropped for some. It sucks right now. Let's see. Oh, we got a bunch of people that popped in that we didn't see earlier. We got the Oak and Smoke whiskey reviews. What's up, guy? That's Brent. We got Malta in Montreal. That's my boy Swami.
Nice. So I'm trying to figure out if I want to put it on my Instagram right now. How can I let people know how to access YouTube? Because I made the mistake of thinking we were going live on Instagram.
Oh, and I should have just done Instagram because I could have just done it straight from my phone. Probably would have been way better than what
No,
I'm experiencing right now.
we could. You know what?
But
Having a blast. We can definitely work out all the
I
courts
mean,
and do
what's
another
up?
like for another like a more grand. Like we can get another bottle of whiskey and try something that's really nice, and I'll definitely
Mm-hmm.
a couple of more bucks.
Yeah.
You know what? Yeah, for the show, let's do it. Like once things start to get back to normal a little bit, I'm all for it. I love this. I'm having a great time.
Nice. Hey, I'm glad you liked it because like I said, it's a special bottle, and
Yeah.
Unfortunately, this is not something you can go buy at the store.
Yeah, exactly. This has a nice twist to it, and I love that it has so much mystery to it, but it's delightful. It's not hit in the face like, "Ooh, take this," and it's like, no, this is enjoyable. This is really good. This is nice. I have tried Japanese.
Yeah, I think it's just a combination of everything, and I guess. What?
Sorry, it's just there's a slight lag. I've tried. I'm looking at the comments, and I've tried Japanese whiskey, and I have to say it's really good. I've enjoyed that very much. What about you? How do you feel about it?
Yeah, it's similar to Scotch. Very similar. Actually, the guy that started the whole Japanese movement went to Scotland, got married to a Scottish girl, learned how to distill, and then went back to Japan and started his distillery. So
Nice.
everything starts somewhere.
Very nice. That's pretty awesome. I'm just trying to read all the comments and catch up here.
Yeah.
Wow, you've got a lot of comments here. Oh, see, someone did know what Mama Juana was. It's a Caribbean moonshine.
Yeah. Yeah, there's just chatting between each other.
Yeah, I see that.
But yeah, it's I mean, we've been on for 40 minutes now, and probably sipping for, I don't know, 15, 20 minutes.
Feels like,
and I barely finished it. So
oh my God.
there you go. That's your answer. That's how long it takes to drink.
That's good.
I'm glad. I'm glad you like.
Mm-hmm. I was just telling Antonio that I am a tequila drinker, and whiskey is definitely my runner-up. So I'm all for learning more about the whiskeys and seeing what's a better brand and what's the better taste, what's going to give me the better aftertaste, what's going to feel better. And there's so much science behind it. I'm really enjoying it.
Oh yeah, definitely. I had no idea. Once I got into whiskey and started doing research for my reviews, I learned a lot, and I'm like, wow, there's a lot more to it than just taking shots.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah. I've actually learned that in my quest for tequila. Like I prefer white. I prefer certain brands. Before I used to just pick up whatever art looked good on the bottle. I was like, I'm totally judging you by your covers, but you can't always do that. That's the lesson of life, right? That's what it is.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely. Don't judge it. You know, again, here's one bottle that I have right now, and everybody out here might agree. I'm sure they will. Wild Turkey 101. It's a $20 bottle, but it tastes more like a $40, $50 bottle to me.
That's very important. I love when certain brands know what they've got, what it's worth, but they'll still look out for their fans.
Yeah. So how much do you have left in your glass?
I'm done.
You're done?
Yeah, I think I'm either gonna run out and find the whiskey that is somewhere in my kitchen and try that this way, because I can guarantee you whatever whiskey's in my kitchen, I have not drank.
All right, let's see what you got.
Now's as good a time as any. Be right back.
Hope the lag isn't too bad, guys. We said everybody's streaming nowadays, so it just slows things down, and I guess my router doesn't help either. Piece of shit. Hey, so I mean, I knew you used cocaine, man. You look like a crackhead. It's all right. It's all right, man. I'm okay with it.
I apologize.
That's cool.
I found this.
Oh my God. You brought out the the expensive. You're talking about what I was telling you to buy. It was expensive.
Really? Oh, awesome. So then it works out.
Is that your husband's or?
This is mine now.
Oh, okay.
It probably was, but it doesn't. My husband's a rum drinker. He's Puerto Rican, so he's all about the rum, the Bacardi. So shout outs to Bacardi. I'm sorry.
Okay.
All right, so I'm gonna try to pour the same amount that you had before and let it sit, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, my husband, he gets a lot of gifts like this. So
Oh, that's awesome.
yeah, people
Yeah,
love.
that's one bottle I think is really good. I think that bottle is really good, but it's a little too expensive for what it is.
Oh,
But it is a good whiskey.
that's good to know.
It's
I think
it's that little, it's the brand.
I'm
Yeah,
sorry.
it's the brand name, and then the little thing that's on there on the bottle.
Yeah.
That's that's what you're paying, is those little things, but it's really good whiskey.
Well, you know what? I really like that thing on the bottle. I do. So I think after we finish this one, what did you call it again? The bottom layer when you're running out, what do you call it again?
Oh, the heels.
Yes. Okay. So once we get to the heels, I think maybe we should start our own infinity whiskey and then we can let you know how it goes. They'll bring it to the basement and they can kind of pour in and then we can shout you out and talk about like we got this
Yeah.
idea from Antonio and that would be amazing. Okay, I'm gonna let it sit for a while before I
That's fine.
smell
Just
it.
start nosing it. See if you start getting things. That's a to me it's a light whiskey, so you might have a easier time nosing it. It's lower in ABV than my Infinity bottle. This one's over 100 proof.
I'm gonna be honest, I'm not loving the way this smells. Okay, okay. This has such a different shoot. I wish I still had some of yours left so I could kind of compare, but this is so different from yours.
Yeah.
Where yours had so
You're
many.
gonna be a good whiskey drinker. You're already thinking about comparing.
Yeah, I mean, when I was smelling your whiskey, I thought this has so many nice little surprises, but with this one, there's something in it that's overpowering everything else. This is definitely very tart, and I'm trying to figure out what it is. Would you know? Would you happen to know like what's in it?
I haven't had that in a while. I remember getting red apples, I believe, was one thing that was jumping out to me.
I can see that. I love apples. Oh, you know what? This is gonna sound weird because I know that's not what's in here, but I'm kind of picking up pecans, however you
No,
say it.
yeah, yeah. It's got a nutty
Really?
kind of nose. Yeah.
That's what I'm getting from this. A little bit of tart and pecans. That's what I'm getting. I could be
Nice.
totally wrong
Nice.
talking shit, but hey,
Ah, no. Again, that's whatever it reminds you of. Just go with it.
you see, I already messed up. I didn't take the coffee sip.
No, I mean you already acclimated. Just go drink it.
I got right away. I got kind of that oily feel that you were talking about. It's clear
Yeah.
now, but Malted in Montreal says it's 50% caramel coloring and 50% marketing.
Yeah, he's not a big fan of the Dalmore.
Okay. I mean I'm not hating it.
See, that's one thing with Scotch that he's talking about is that they can add a little bit of color just for presentation for the Scotches, but it cannot affect the taste. So if it starts messing with the taste, then they can't call it a Scotch. Then it's just like flavored whiskey, pretty much.
I'm starting to realize why this bottle is still here. I'm not loving the aftertaste.
No, what are
Mm-mm.
you getting at the aftertaste?
It's a little smoky,
Uh-huh.
but not in a good way. Like dare I say ashtray smoky?
All right, all right. I'm not. It's. It might have some peat influence. I'm not sure, but like I said, I haven't had it in a while. But
Hmm. When we
so
do,
you're not a big fan of
we
the
will do this
smoky
again. We have to pick
ashtray.
a bottle so that we can compare and talk it through. You know, walk through it together. I'm sorry. What were you just saying?
I was just saying you don't like the smoky flavor, like that ashtray. That's what's turning you off.
I guess not. It's not. It's not very appealing to me. I don't like the aftertaste. I mean, I'm totally gonna finish this, but I might skip away in a second and see what else is in my cabinet.
Yeah, I mean, sometimes you may not like a whiskey. I mean, you'll finish the glass and you'll say, I'll leave it," and then come back to it maybe after you've had a few more whiskeys that down the line that your palate starts picking up more things, and you'll come back to it. Sometimes you actually go like, "How did I not like this before?" And now it's like super delicious, or it just might be like, "Yep, not for me."
It's definitely an acquired taste. I've recently started dabbling with gin, and that's rough.
Hmm. The juniper. What somebody told me, it tastes like pine sol.
They are not wrong.
I haven't tried gin, to be honest, so I don't know what it tastes like.
I only tried it because a bunch of cousins, we got together for a paint and sip that I hosted, and they swore that this gin was, and it's good. It's called Empress, and I like to put some lemons in it. I recently tried it with honey. You don't need to do that. But I'm a big fan. Again, I love citrus, so I'm a big fan of lemon. And recently, there's a local pie shop that makes lemon lavender pie, and just the combination is
Okay.
so amazing. So considering that this was a lavender gin, I take my lemon peels and my slices and I squeeze it in there, and it's pretty good. It's pretty good. I enjoy it. Mm.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to pick up a gin and see what it's all about. And I may like it. I don't know. So we're at almost an hour, and since it keeps lagging, I think we might cut it short. But definitely, I want to do more.
Yes,
And maybe we'll do it on Instagram. I'm pretty sure my phone is gonna be way better than what I have set up here. Um,
I used my phone for the live sip and paint. Well, it wasn't live. We were live. And so I didn't have any problems with it. But before we do cut out, I just want to show one of my mugs that I did. This is
look at that.
a regular mug. You'll see like in the back, it's just a regular mug. And I painted the Red Dead Redemption. This was like
Nice.
a really hot video game. Like it still is, but
Oh,
it
it is, yeah.
I would say like 2 years ago.
That's
So
awesome.
thank you. So for something like this, I try to put my all into my pieces. At the end of the day, this is my name, this is my brand, and I want you guys to understand that, especially with pieces like this, it's really hard to let them go. So that's when you got a good piece, when it's really hard for me to part with it.
Oh yeah,
Um,
yeah. That's what I'm gonna have you say. Where can people find you? I know you're doing like that. Sip and what did you call it? Sip and paint.
the sip and paint. So right now I'm actually getting all the materials together. So I'm hosting a live sip and paint. So if you have Zoom or Google Meets or anything like that, yes, Arthur Morgan, that's right. Looking at the comments. So if you
Nice.
are interested in, making the Zoom a little livelier and making it an activity, team building, or just a night out with the family, I'm working on getting materials together right now. You can reach me at Lee's Art. That's LEEZ_art on Instagram. And I would love to work on commission pieces, or if you want me to join you in a Google Meet or a Zoom, I can definitely host a paint and sip. At the moment, you do have to buy the materials. I have purchased some materials in bulk so that I can send out canvases, paints, and paintbrushes to you, so that
Nice.
this way it's convenient and easy for you and your team. Right now, I do have a flash sale going on. I've got 3 slots left for groups where it's only $5 a person, but you do need to pick up the supplies yourself. But I'd be happy to chime in. I'm accepting payments through Cash App and Venmo, and I love doing this. Painting has been a part of my life.
Yeah, that sounds like a great time.
So reach out to me on Instagram, and
yeah, and I'll have the link to your Instagram in the description below so people can check it out.
Thank you.
For sure.
Awesome.
All right. Well, like I said, we'll definitely do this again. We'll do this on Instagram next time.
Yeah.
And hopefully you guys pop in. And let's see if I want to add anything more to tonight. No, I'm so glad that you had some time to do this finally. And I'm so glad that you enjoyed the infinity bottle. I just want to raise a glass to everybody out there. Stay safe, stay clean, and keep sipping. Cheers, everybody.
Cheers.
Peace.